she talked about uh, relationships, far as if you think you're going to be in a relationship and possibly get into marriage, what you need to talk about is your past. I don't want to say relationships, but you could also, far as you got to open up about your childhood. How was your household? Did you have a mom and dad? Was you bullied by a parent, a sibling, a relative, another relative, or were you just ever bullied in life? Were you ever touched the wrong way by somebody in the family? It could have been anybody in the family, your mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, auntie, uncle, whoever. Um, and then talk about how was your relationship with your parents and with your siblings, and it's just pretty much overall your upbringing is something, because where she was saying how some people don't realize different things that happen to you during childhood or teenagehood, and sometimes even early adulthood, something could happen to you. If you're going to be involved into a long committed relationship, and it may not be marriage, you just may be with each other forever. Or but if you're going into marriage, she says she feel that's something that not just women on that point, because that went for both ways. There men or women, because now you have little boys that get touched the wrong way or get bullied, and so that's something that you should talk about, because she said as you become an adult and you haven't talked to anybody about it, you haven't told the your significant other anything about it, it can cause a problem in your relationship when it does come out, because what happened is you have all this built up anger or built up resentment, and that person can go, your significant other can go and do something to you that brings back that memory, and now all hell done broke loose, because it's like, okay, what now, now you got them pushing away from you or just having some type of reaction towards you and you don't know why, or they angry at you and you don't know why, because now they're having flashbacks of something that happened that you have no idea that it happened, and that could cause arguments, fights, whatever, and if you're married, divorce, because you don't know, you had no clue that you triggered that memory that you knew nothing of. So she's like, that's one good thing. You should always open up about your childhood, adult, teenage years, early college years. And you know, I I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
Well, the thing about it is that uh, she was saying you can't. She said you can't love a woman past her pain, but you can't. It's a two-way street. You can't
That is
love a
correct.
person past their pain, uh, even though I've done it. I know people have done it on both male and female. Um, there's part of my problem too is that we tend to get too much into the one versus other argument when both sexes are affected equally. That is something you can't do is love a person past their pain. So all that background information, the person may not realize they are a certain way until that's brought to the surface and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with that. You can
Mm-hmm.
support a person in dealing with their pain in
Correct.
injuries of things of the age, but you can't make them get over that type of thing. That's something that person is going to have to deal with square with one on one. And the other thing about that is too, in dealing with that, they may have to deal with that in multiple instances in life. So
Yes.
something that happened in childhood may creep up again in their 20s, may creep up again in their 40s, you know,
Yeah.
and to where they have to go back, revisit, and deal with that because something else got triggered. And that happens, you know,
Yes.
and not necessarily to everybody, but that's a possibility that happens. I think younger people are just so unaware of themselves that handling that takes a different type of maturity level. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times handling that early on can cause a maturity level to kick in, you know,
Yes.
take you to another level of maturity. What happens with a lot of people is that they never develop the maturity to handle those kinds of instances,
Yeah.
and and trying to will it and trying to uh, make it your mission to do to make sure that that person is going to get over this thing. Yeah, you 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose. I
Mm.
did. I've been there. And Billy Carson said the same thing. He was like,
He,
"Yeah, we both tried it. It didn't work." You know.
yeah,
And
he did
I
say
don't
that.
know anybody that strategy has worked for. Yet we do it out of empathy,
Mm-hmm.
right? We do it out
Right.
of empathy. You don't want to see that person hurt like that. You don't want to see that person going through those kind of changes.
Yeah.
When people are in pain and knowing the backside of their story, right?
Mm-hmm.
The empathy part wants to kick in and be there for them and love them past their pain.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't receive proper therapy and have proper steps to move forward, nothing you do is going to change that outcome.
You're right.
Been there, done that. Not gonna work. Good
Yeah.
fuck who you are. Ain't gonna work.
You're right.
Right. Me going through my own kind of life changes like that, I knew, and there was plenty of people ready to help me to try to get over the things, right? To try to move forward and this, that, and the other. And I would tell them all the time, there's absolutely nothing you can do. This is going to be a shit show. It's
Yeah.
going to be a shit show. It's going, and if you don't stick around, I don't blame you because it's going to be a shit show,
Yeah.
but it has to happen.
Yeah.
You know, there was
Yeah.
no avoiding it on my part. However long it took, I knew that it was going to get worse before it got better. And
Yeah.
I had to go through it. There was absolutely nothing nobody could do. And sure
Right.
enough, I was correct. But in that, and I was thinking about this today with that thing, the main factors was when I was conscious about what was going on, I was realistic about not going to be overnight,
Right.
right? I knew the worst was ahead,
Yeah.
but I also knew that through it all, my personality and the type of person I am, I will prevail,
Okay.
right? And that was kind of my formula for successfully overcoming the whole situation as a
Mm-hmm.
whole. Did it look pretty? Nope. Was it fucked up? Yep. You know, and there's still residual effects of behind it, but they get cleaned up as I get to them. You know,
Right.
I'm steady. Just okay. Those are just maintenance things. I'm okay. All right. Yeah, that was fucked up. Yeah. Okay. So I'm still playing cleanup on it, but the bulk of it is behind me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole point of it. So not many people are self-aware like that.
Mm-hmm.
They can only see it for why is me and get jammed and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't have the faith in themselves to move forward. And that's really when you need help. Yeah, I went to therapy for the thing too, and I think I fucked the therapist up. The dude was looking at me like, okay. I don't think he knew where to fucking start.
Mm-mm.
you know, but again, the therapist became just a sounding board, really. I knew I would figure it out,
Right.
right? It was just a matter of me composing myself and getting my shit together, right? The therapy
Yeah.
part of it was just another sounding board on the outside of someone that was not involved in any shape or form other than I made an appointment,
Right.
But I know I fucked him up.
Poor guy.
Hey, and I'm not saying that this is the reason, but what it's funny that I saw this cat like twice,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, okay, cool. But um, before I left Tennessee, I just wanted to check and see if he still worked here because I was gonna go by and shake his hand when I was leaving. Hey, thank you. Dude, never he didn't work there no more.
You you made him quit and start seeing a therapist himself, huh? Note to self, do not go into therapy.
I'm not fucking with that motherfucker no more. Matter of fact, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
All right.